The Eastern Conference better be on notice because it seems like this Knicks team is hitting their stride. New Year's Day in the NBA, we had 8 games to go through, and we start in New York City where the New York Knicks are on fire. New York entered this game with an 8-game win streak, but with no Jalen Brunson and early on some troubles against Lauri Markkanen and the Jazz. The biggest difference between the Knicks early in the season and the Knicks now is their improvement on the defensive end of the floor. Cameron Payne the steal, Bridges the layup, now OG the assist to Precious with the layup. Second quarter now, last game Josh Hart had a triple-double. There's another dime for Hart, and then there's another steal for Cameron Payne, filling in nicely for the injured Jalen Brunson. Knicks lead up to 8, and you know who their main man is every night. Karl-Anthony Towns for 3 final seconds of the first half. There's Josh Hart again. Already this season, they've had 4 different players get 40 points in a game. Bridges with a deep 2. Now there's OG. Sweet move inside. Nice reverse. Here comes Hart again to close out the third. He was on one tonight. Final moments of the third, Kolek pushing the break. Bridges the layup. And then in the fourth quarter, it feels like he has one of these every single game. Make that 9 wins in a row for the Red Hot Knicks, and listen, this man is having a first-team All-NBA type season. 21 rebounds is becoming the new norm for Cat. And one of my players of the night, the second straight triple-double for Josh Hart. He is now the first Knick since Michael Ray Richardson in 1981 and the 5th in franchise history to accomplish this. We want to find out more about this Knicks team. Well, Friday night, they're in Oklahoma City. And when Josh Hart was asked about that game, this is what he said, quote, "This will be a good test. The big man got paid this summer, so he should be a little slow on his feet and slow trying to protect the rim. We should be able to go at him. I love when they troll." Next up, Hawks and Nuggets from Denver, and right away an assist for Nikola Jokic. Last game in Utah for Denver, Jokic had a triple-double and Russ had a triple-double. Both of them picking up right where they left off in the first quarter. The Nuggets, the #1 fast break team in the league. Atlanta's been playing some really good basketball, though, and they're hanging tough in this first quarter. DeAndre Hunter for 3. Now this is an Atlanta team without Jalen Johnson tonight, by the way. Trae Young hitting a 3 of his own, but now there's Westbrook. Nuggets down by 4 midway through the second. Here goes Westbrook again, going to his left right down the lane. Story of this game, though, and the story for the Nuggets of late, the chemistry between those two. Have you ever played pickup basketball with somebody and immediately you two just understand each other's game? That is exactly what it's like watching Nikola Jokic and Russell Westbrook. Here's another dime from the Joker. This one was close in the first half, but now that dynamic duo in sync once again. The Nuggets run away with this one, and Russell Westbrook with another great game in Denver. Nuggets win by 26 against the Hawks tonight, and there's no other way to put it. Russ is a perfect fit for this Nuggets team. As good as Russ was, this man stole the show once again. In only 29 minutes, he had 23, 17, and 15. Just another night at the office for Nikola. Mavs and Rockets tonight from Houston. The short-handed Mavericks looking to pull off the upset on the road. Early on, some great signs from Dallas. Clay with a corner 3. Now Clay again for 3. Once Clay hits 2 in a row, you know the third one is going up. Here he goes, pump fake, and 3 in a row. Rockets absorbed the early punch from the Mavericks, and now the counter punch from Houston. Second quarter now, Dallas up by 4. All season we've seen their depth and their tenacity. Grimes coast to coast. Very next possession, Quentin Grimes again stepping back, Dallas up by 9. So how do these young Rockets respond to the challenge from the Mavericks? Well, this is how. Şengün the tough basket inside. Next possession, Cam Whitmore off the G League team and back in the big leagues. Now the Rockets up by 4. Şengün back to Whitmore. Whitmore again for 3. Rockets completely flipped this game in the second quarter. End of the second quarter, Jalen Green the circus shot. Houston's lead up to now 14 in the third, and more from Şengün. Look at the fundamentals on this move. Check out the footwork, the pump fake, the lefty finish. And then in the fourth, lead down to 11, Cam Whitmore again. Tonight was about Cam Whitmore. I really hope they keep him in the rotation. Rockets get the win 110-99 against the Luka-less Mavericks. How about Alperen Şengün with 6 steals? The story of the day for Houston, Cam Whitmore off the bench in only 23 minutes, 18 points, stepping up with Amen Thompson and Tari Eason out. Next up, we have the Sixers and Kings tonight from Sacramento. No Joel Embiid for Philly. Sacramento off to a fast start, up 13-7, long outlet pass to Malik Monk, tough finish. This first half, though, was about Paul George playing his best basketball as a Sixer. Second quarter, Sixers up by 5. This Sixers team has been playing some great basketball lately. George in bully mode. Sixers up by 8, and George continuing his fiery start in this first half. Final moments of the first half, ball bounces out to Fox. Fox beats the buzzer. Third quarter, Sacramento down by 5, and now it's De'Aaron's turn to turn up. Right to the rim, tough contact and finish. Once again, Sixers up by 7, and more from PG. I know it's asking a lot of him, but if George can be this guy consistently, the Sixers' whole ceiling changes. Fourth quarter, Kings down by 8, desperately trying to make it 2 home wins in a row, and here's De'Aaron. 9-point deficit for Sacramento still, but only 5 minutes to go, and Fox again getting to that mid-range. This, though, felt like a backbreaker. De'Aaron is stripped, Tyrese Maxey coast to coast, Sixers up 9. Game looked over with 3.5 minutes to go, down by 9, but not so fast. Now De'Aaron to Keon, it's down to 2. Next possession, Sacramento stepping up on defense. Debo the steal and tying the game. The Kings would take the lead and have the ball with 20 seconds to go, and this would be a frantic possession, ending with this. Malik Monk driving to the rim, and he's fouled, and that would do it. Finally, these close games are going their way. Fox with 35 tonight, and Sabonis 17, 21, and 7. 2 wins in a row for the Beam team. Really tough way for the Sixers to lose tonight. The positive, though, is Paul George looked like a guy worth a max contract. Beating Pelicans tonight from New Orleans. Jimmy Butler is back, but Tyler Hero still leading the charge. Miami with a big early lead in this first quarter, and once again, Tyler Hero continuing to look like an all-star. There's no other way to put it at this point. This is his ball club. Hero with the floater. Miami up by 10, early stages of the second. Jovic to Hawkes to the rookie Khalil Ware. New Orleans, though, fighting back in the second, led by Trey Murphy. He's turned into such a good player this season. As rough as this year has been, it's allowed Murphy to develop his game as a #1 option. Even with Murphy having a great game, Miami just too talented for this Pelicans group. Butler with a basket there, welcome back Jimmy, and then in the fourth, Hero taking them home. Miami wins by 11, this is every night for Hero, 32 more points tonight. By the way, how about Bam? Where has this Bam been all season? 23, 10, and 9. Next up, we had Nets and Raptors tonight from Toronto and D'Angelo Russell. First shot as a net is a swish. Moments later, here he is again. D'Lo with the steal and D'Lo with the bucket. Second quarter, and once again, D'Lo looking comfortable back in Brooklyn. Another tough shot. D'Lo stealing the early headlines, but today was also the return of Emmanuel Quickly for the Raptors. Third quarter, Raptors up by 2. Scotty Barnes the step back 3 and the dance moves. Nets down by 3 now in the fourth quarter. D'Lo trying to do everything he can to lead his new team. But these Raptors, though, were just too much. They wanted to snap that losing streak in the worst way. Scotty Barnes the steal and dunk, and now the dagger from Emmanuel Quickly. What a return for him. D'Angelo's going to do some special things in Brooklyn. I can already feel it. 22-8 in his first game. He looks really comfortable. Today, though, was about Emmanuel Quickly. 21 points and 15 dimes in his first game in 2 months. And also cannot forget about Scotty Barnes. 33, 13, and 5 as the Raptors snap their 11-game losing streak. Finally. Next up in the East, Bulls and Wizards tonight from Washington, D.C. Jordan Poole and Zach LaVine both didn't play in the last game. Here's Poole early in the first. Second quarter now, believe it or not, the Wizards up by 9 and Poole again stepping back. Third quarter, and check out the defense from JP. Poole forcing the turnover, other end, Alex Sarr the lob. Wizards up by 10 and Poole continuing to look like the best player on the floor. Bulls, though, making a furious rally in the third quarter, and of course, Lonzo Ball making winning plays. But tonight in DC was just too much whiz kids. Keyshawn George the steal and the slam. I mean, how do you lose to the Wizards by 18? Another embarrassing loss for the Bulls, but kudos to the Wizards, kudos to Jordan Poole. Next up, Pistons and Magic back at home in Detroit after a 3-1 road trip. Right away, the Pistons still feeling it after that 3-1 West Coast trip. Pistons up by 11 in the second quarter. Jayden Ivey shooting the ball really well in this first half. The Pistons this season have been so fun and continuing it in the second quarter. Cunningham now getting to the rim and leaving it for Durant. The Pistons would go on to beat the Magic, but unfortunately it came at a serious cost. Jayden Ivey would have to leave the game on a stretcher after this horrific play. Prayer Prayers up to him. I hope it's not as serious as it looked. This one was really painful to watch, and look at what it did to his teammates. It had Asar Thompson in tears. Prayers up for Jayden Ivey.